Hello, everybody. Sorry about the 2-minute delay. Gavin was just doing his hair.
Yeah, honestly, that's what it was.
That's what it was. And he's not got any music playing. He was just sorting his hair out. This is what happened. That's what I have to deal with, everybody.
It looks like I'm seeing the light right now. Look how bright it is.
Look at him. He's now faffing about. God knows what he's doing.
That's better. There we go.
We're waiting. People are waiting for music, my friend.
Seamless. Yeah, well, I thought you were going to sing tonight. You're not going to sing?
I know. Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
That's a good one, mate.
That's one of my favourites. Baba Black Sheep.
What are you drinking tonight?
Today I'm drinking my Costa.
Oh yeah, today.
I must say, are you going to play music, or are we leaving it today?
Nah, we're going to play music, but we're just
play a bit of music, and then I'll tell you I had a lovely coffee that beats the Costa one. There we go. Yeah, Yanis might confirm this. There's elements to this song that sound a bit Greek. You could definitely do a Greek dance to this.
Can't hear you, mate. What?
Yanis, do you know this? What do you think? You can't hear me. Oh, sorry. Okay.
No, what was that, mate?
I said Yanis might be able to confirm that there's elements to this that sound a bit Greek. You could definitely do a Greek dance to it.
Apparently.
Cheers, Roy.
What's your missus drink when you go? You must have like loyalty bonus cards plus 10.
Yeah, they don't really go very far, mate. Like you get 10p for every pound you spend.
But what I want to know is, so Andy and I were on a call the other day, and Andy turns up to the call.
Look, he's gone again. Look, his internet. Honestly, this guy. Guys, is it just me, or is he? He's just. See, he was going to say some nonsense. Mate, whatever nonsense he said, nobody heard it.
That shouldn't be me. Did it cut out?
Yeah. Do you know what? I've actually installed the software when you start to talk rubbish to cut you out. Basically, that's what happens.
Well, that means that's like half the show gone then.
Oh,
Janice,
God.
Please don't encourage him, mate. Come on.
There you go. There you go. You see, he knows.
Don't encourage him. He's a bully. He's a playground bully.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
Did you used to be a bully, or did you used to get bullied, Gav?
I think a bit of both.
Right in the middle.
If I'm being honest, a bit of both.
I was in the middle. I just didn't let the bullies bully me.
Yeah. No, if the girls tried to play kiss chase when we were playing football, then I used to kick the football at them. I was very serious about my soccer.
I see. And you're calling it soccer, mate. You've been in Australia too long. What? Can you not see what's happening to you, mate?
What? I've got a tan. I'm more relaxed. I call football
soccer.
Mate, if that's the worst that I have to live with, to get the heck out of Dodge, then I'll take it. Yeah. I'm not worried
Before
about
you know it, mate, you'll be setting up your own Super League and be all for it.
One day, mate. One day we're going to have a dream. But talking of news events, you've actually had a professional haircut.
I did.
Looks good.
I did, mate.
Looks good. Looks good. It's been a while. It's been a while since you've looked so suave.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was great to have a proper haircut. I mean, homemade ones just don't really cut it. I mean, when you're desperate, it's fine. But apparently I found out I shouldn't put him in it, but I found out that he's been doing a few secret ones in the back. And he didn't let me know.
Yeah, you must be a tight tipper. You must be a really poor tipper if he didn't let you know about that.
Yeah, must be.
Can you imagine, like, underground, like there was Fight Club, and now around London,
he charges enough, mate. He doesn't need a tip.
All around London, there's underground barbers now. Everybody's
100%.
sneaking out.
100% they do it. Of course they do.
It's just going to drive everything.
I'm sure there's people that sneakily open and sell stuff as well. There's no way that everybody follows the rules, but anyway.
Exactly that. Well, look, we've got 24 people in the room. Thank you very much for joining us live, guys. We will crack on. Just going to say a few shout outs to people. So Facebook user, if you haven't logged in, we've got a link to StreamYard, which we post. If you can log into the StreamYard link, we know there's a lot more new people coming into the group. It's fantastic to have you, but we don't know how or why. Internet's ridiculous. So we don't know how or why that's happening. So let's just crack on with our housekeeping. Sorry about that, guys. Slavomir, first one in. Boom. Congratulations. Housekeeping is done. So tonight in the show, what we're going to talk about, one of the first things we're going to talk about is questions that people are asking. And one of the biggest ones, mate, is demo accounts. So from your point of view as a professional trader and having taught as many people as you have, if you can go through what are some of the benefits of demo accounts and also what are some of the pitfalls?
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, the demo account is great, but it's only great if you're using it with the right purpose and the right mindset. And most people misuse the demo account. So obviously, if you're completely new, a demo account is basically a practice account. So before you go and put your money at risk, it's important that you practice. And what does it do? Well, it allows you to firstly get used to your platform. It allows you to get used to placing orders, understanding, how much risk you're going to be risking, all those kind of things. So all the sort of the general ABC things that you have to know, like even if you knew how to trade, if you don't know how to use a platform and you don't know how to place orders and you don't know how to manage those orders and so on, well, you're not going to make money anyway. So that's the one side. So that bit doesn't take too long. I think the way I use the demo account, because I used to use back what's it called, software that you could basically backtrack. I can't think of the word now, but basically like a demo account, but you can go back in time and actually practice your strategy. So even if you don't use software, I mean, you can do that on TradingView, by the way, but even if you don't use software, by using a demo account, you can literally have some rules for your strategy and then go in and practice and practice and practice. Now, what does this do? Well, one, it shows you whether your strategy works. So if you have good rules that are clear to follow, like, for example, if your rule was when the 50-day moving average crosses the 200-day moving average, I must buy. And when the 50-day moving average crosses below the 200 moving average, I must sell or exit my position. Well, I don't think that system's going to necessarily do great, but those are rules that we can all follow, right? They're not hard to follow. And so by using a demo account, you can literally just take those trades on your demo account and then see what the results are like. So, and then what that will do is then it will give you the information, the statistics to say, okay, my strategy is a winning strategy. So now I can go and put some real funds into the market. And here's the thing that's really important. If you do this properly, if you track your results and you do this for a significant amount of time, let's say at least a couple of months, once you are confident that your system makes money, you're much more likely to kind of stick to your rules than if you don't know that internally. So it's one thing, guys, when somebody says to you, here's a system, it works, right? Follow it. And then you try it a little bit with real money where emotions are high, you're losing money potentially, and it's not working. So what does it do? Well, you don't want to carry on. You don't want that pain anymore, right? But if you've done this in practice mode where actually it doesn't matter what the result is, you're just trying to figure out if it really does work for you. So you take those trades in the practice mode, and then it doesn't go well. Well, you don't react the same way anymore because those emotions are not there, right? So in a demo account, there's no emotions. So therefore, it allows you to carry on taking those trades, okay, if you don't give up. And then you can really see for yourself, actually, do you know what? Yeah, it went wrong, but look at the results now. Look at my equity curve now. And then it gives you that start. You're starting to feel and understand what it is to start to make money. And you start to believe it. And that's what a demo account should be there for. And until you've got proof that you have an edge, until you know that you can definitely do it on a demo account, you should never be moving over to a live account. Unless you're going to do really, really tiny amounts of money. But even then, I would say definitely make sure that you've done at least some demo trading before.
So we've got, we're also available live on YouTube as well. So thank you if you're watching on YouTube. Monica Aros, thank you for joining us and posting your question. Would you still use a demo account if you have experience on crypto and stocks, but kind of new to FX?
Hi, Monica. Thanks for your question. Well, if you're familiar with your platform, so for example, MT4, if that's your platform, so you don't need to worry about sort of learning how that platform works. Most likely, if you're doing cryptos and stocks, you're probably using, something outside of MT4, maybe even just trading directly with the broker or the broker's own, the broker's own charting or whatever. So you definitely need to learn the platform, if you're going to move over to FX. The other thing is that what works in FX doesn't necessarily work in cryptos and in stocks, and vice versa. They are different. So how do you know you have an edge? Well, you need to practice. Now, you don't necessarily, if you have experience, you don't necessarily have to do it in a demo, but you definitely want to make sure that your strategy works. So I would definitely go and do some back testing. Go back in time and assess how well your strategy works. Make sure, I would even put some fake trades in, like replay the software or go back and say, okay, when this happens, I should be doing this, and work out roughly what your results are. And then if you know that you've definitely got an edge, then I would consider just going live. But because I understand there's going to be a point in time where, for example, when I moved over to cryptos, I didn't do any demo trading. Now I've been trading FX for 18 years. And what I did do though is I went and tested everything that I was going to trade. So I went and built my strategies and I tested them and I checked that they work and I made sure I had an edge, did all the groundwork for it, and then I went live. So if you're experienced, that's kind of the approach that I would take, because there is a negative thing as well. It's like if you're somebody who's quite experienced, there is only so much demo trading that you're going to want to do. Like you want to get stuck in and start making money. So you don't have to necessarily do that. But if you're a complete beginner, then I definitely would.
Awesome. And another new name to the group, Tanya, thanks a lot for tuning in. Tanya, is it risky to invest in cryptocurrency? That is a question which shall remain unanswered for at least the next 24 hours, because we've got a live show tomorrow night or tomorrow at midday on cryptos. So it's Crypto Like a Pro. So today we talk all things FX and pips. Tomorrow is the day that we talk about all things cryptos. So hold that question. And Andy, hold the answer, and we will go through it tomorrow. So we've kind of covered off demo accounts, which I think is an important one to do, seeing as we're getting a lot of new people in who don't really have a lot of experience. So one of the next major questions that we need to kind of check off and kind of take off the list is signal providers. Now, we have spoken about this before, and I know it's something that you feel kind of strongly about. So do you just want to share your stance as a professional trader on signal providers? Again, how can they be a good thing? When are they a bad thing? And how can someone kind of learn to tell the difference so that they can start to try and help themselves to make more money in the markets?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, firstly, just for everybody to be on the same page, when we refer to signal providers, we are talking about any kind of person or company that is essentially providing an indication of whether to buy or sell, entry points, stop, profit targets, and so on. So they are basically giving you their trades that you can follow. What's going on in your what the hell is that noise?
I think there's a train coming through the station.
Fair enough.
It's one of those nights tonight.
No worries. Yeah. So I think I've lost my train of thought now. What was I saying?
Signal providers.
Yeah, signal providers. Yeah. So the thing with signal provider is why do people not make money? Well, largely it's because they don't believe in what they're doing. They don't understand what they're doing. And so when you have a signal provider, gives you their trades, when they're going well, you may continue to take them, but when they're going badly, you'll probably quit on them. So, and every system goes through drawdown. Every system goes through a patch where they're losing money. And so if you don't understand why the signal is being given to you, why the setup is there, what's the risk management on that setup, if you don't understand like the potential drawdowns of the system, so you're not educated as to why you're even putting your hard-earned money on the line, well, the chances are, even if that system is good, which very few are, but there are some that will be, okay, just by the law of averages, you will almost certainly lose money. So it's not about judging whether, you know, everyone's a scammer who provides signals. That can't be true. Yes, there are lots of those scammers out there. But if you were educated and you understood, for example, right, what a good setup is, what your setups are. Go on, you need to ask me a question.
No, mate.
So what your setups are, what your exact rules are for entering a trade, right? And you had it in a piece of paper that was yours. You owned that system. That's yours. Doesn't matter if you've learned from me, from another mentor, from another trader, and you've amalgamated it, and it's yours now. It's yours. Like everything we've learned, like including me, we've all acquired knowledge from different places, from books, from mentors, from whatever, right? Experiences, life experiences. So, you know, I guess what I'm saying there is that, you know, none of us have reinvented the wheel. Okay. We've just made it our own and developed it and essentially figured out how to make money in the markets. And then you kind of got to do the same. So you've got to have a blueprint, a way of doing things, and that becomes yours, and it will feel like it's yours. Doesn't matter if you've learned a large part of it from someone else. It will feel like it's yours because you've made it your own. Now, in that scenario, let's say, for example, that I've taught you my methodology, my step-by-step, and then you've changed it up and you've made it your own to fit your life, the amount of time you have, your personality, all those sort of things. Now, if I said to you, okay, just like I'm going to do today, I'm going to give you a setup. We'll go through any currency that you guys want to go through, and I will probably hopefully find an opportunity that I might feel is a high probability opportunity. Now you're in a position in that scenario where you can judge whether that setup suits your trading plan. Now, you understand it. You fully are on board with it. You're not taking a trade just because I said it's good. You're taking it. I've just alerted you to it. I've just said, listen, have a look at this currency pair because I think it's about to turn. I think it's reaching a key turning point. I think there's a key demand zone. I think that this currency pair is going to probably turn and go up. So now you're in a position of power because you understand it. You understand what I'm talking about. You understand the language that I'm saying. And you can go and have a look at it and say, yes, he's right. I like that trade. This is how I'm going to take it, though. My rules say I need to place my stop here with my entry here, and I'm going to go for the long-term trade. I know Andy was saying, you know, he's just going to target a small thing, but I think this is going to go higher. And now you make it your own, or you mimic exactly what I'm doing as long as it meets your rules. So then it's you own it. And that, in that sense, that's when signals can be really helpful. They can be. When I do one-to-one coaching, I don't do too many of them, very few. You know, I do that for my clients. I do give them that heads up about certain pairs that I'm looking at or cryptos that I'm looking at. But again, I don't tell them go in here, stop there, target there, because I need them to make that decision. They need to own it. And that way, you are becoming your own trader, and you just slowly, you just start to find these yourself. But there's nothing wrong with having a helping hand from somebody to give you that. But when you're just blindly copying a signal with no understanding, chances are you're not going to make any money. And that was my experience as well, by the way, guys. I followed, I think I've said it before, this guy who was a really good trader, actually. If you like futures, this was great, mastering the trade, John F. Carter. And I actually met him as well in Australia, in America. And another guy, his then business partner. And I learned a lot from them. And when I first started out, I was like, well, whilst I'm learning, I might as well just copy what these guys are doing. And I just couldn't make any money because it was like I was missing it, or I didn't fully get it, and it just didn't work. And I was paying a lot of money every month. And I just like, you know what? I'm losing money and I'm paying like $300-400 a month for this. This is stupid. And I just stopped it. And I just started to just learn how to trade for myself with my own system.
Cool. So look, guys, if you've got any questions about demo accounts or signal providers, I think Andy's pretty much covered that quite comprehensively. Just checking the questions now. Nothing's come in for that. So another question that we get a lot, I see a lot of, is what's FOMO? Mr. and Mrs. FOMO, as I call them. And if you can break down, obviously, what FOMO is. And again, what is something that we have to look out for, but how can we actually use it to our advantage as well?
Yeah, I mean, so the fear of missing out, that's part of the problem of why you're not successful as well. So if you come from, and this is like without going kind of too deep, but if you come from a place of, you know, abundance, that there's plenty of opportunities, you won't have FOMO. But when you come from a place of fear, where you're feeling like, you know, you don't want to miss an opportunity because it's going to be the one that's going to set you free, or the one that's got to pay your bills, that immediately, you know, whether it's for one particular trade or one particular opportunity, you're immediately setting yourself up for failure. So, you know, I've seen it many, many times where people come from that mindset of like, you know, they don't want to miss out, and they're going on Twitter and they're going on Facebook and they're looking at all these people. And the most common questions I see in groups is, these are the cryptos that I'm holding, or these, you know, whatever it is. And, you know, what else should I buy? And it's like, why are they asking this question? It's because they don't want to miss out on this other thing that they might miss out on. And it's like, well, these people are not going to make money. They're going to screw it up because they're going on and they're like basically just taking tips off people that they don't even know. They don't even know at all. They don't even know if these guys know anything. And everyone's taking tips from each other, right? And it happens in all groups, in FX groups, where literally people are just kind of like pumping and commenting and saying, yeah, buy this, buy that, here's a stop, here's an entry, and people are just blindly following it. And they're like, who is this guy who I'm following? Like, who is it? Do I know he's successful? You know, is he an experienced trader? What's his track record like? None of those are checked, but you're just fearing that you need to be in something. What if this signal works and I'm not in it? So you've got to kind of not come from that space. And your other question was like, how can it help you? I'm not sure if it can help you, but
is there a way where you can reframe it so that it can possibly help, or understand, even just understanding like the psychological process behind it? Obviously, you started to give us an indication of how that can work.
Yeah, I mean, I think like self-awareness is always going to be something that can help you. So I think I've spoken about this before in a different context, but if you know, if you want to kind of push forward in your results, you have to kind of be really self-aware of when you're feeling fearful, stressed, anxious, because these are negative emotions, right? Like if when you're in flow and you're looking at the markets and you're looking for opportunities, you shouldn't be feeling these emotions. So you shouldn't be feeling fearful or stressed or whatever. So if you're stressed, it might be because you've got a position size way too big and you're only thinking about the upside and not the downside. If you're fearful of missing out, it's probably because you're coming from a place of lack and you're just thinking, man, if I get this right, this is going to go to the moon or whatever. This is going to pay for my holiday or whatever, whatever words you say to yourself, and so like once you become aware of that though, and you understand that actually this is never going to get me my long-term results. So it may get you short-term results, but it's never going to get you your long-term results because somehow you're going to mess it up because your blueprint is from a place of lack. So you're going to somehow mess it up at some point. So you may catch a great trade following a signal and suddenly you believe that's the way forward, but somehow you will not make money again because again you're not coming from the right place. And so the first thing that you need to do is make sure that when you're trading, you build yourself up for success, which means making sure you're not reliant on your results, making sure you're not reliant on this is not an easy profession. Like learning the skills is not necessarily rocket science, but this is not an easy profession. So you can't expect to just take it up and immediately, you imagine you've been doing a job for 10 years and somebody's willing to pay you money every month for that job, right? And then in 2 minutes, you're expecting to do the same thing in trading and just quit that job that you spent 10 years, becoming an expert in, that somebody's willing to take, their money and give it to you every month and then expect to be able to just quickly like that, do that in trading. That's unrealistic expectations. So if you set yourself up for success, it means that, listen, I'm going to carry on doing what earns me money. I know that my boss will pay me every month for that job because I can do it. And then on the side, I'm going to spend an extra 2 hours a day learning my craft. I did this exact thing, and you know that, Gav, and I spent way more than 2 hours every day. I didn't have kids then. I didn't have a mortgage then. I lived with my parents. And I just spent literally every other hour, apart from sleep, was studying and learning and charting and practicing and trading until I mastered it. And that was kind of my commitment to make this successful. So yeah, so I don't know if that answers the question, but that's kind of all I wanted to say on that.
Sounds good to me. If anybody's got any other questions, let us know. Put them in the comment section. Alvaro, thanks a lot for tuning in. Signal providers are as effective as the IM harmonic scanner. I'm not sure I understand the reference to that, but I'm sure it seems like you're not a supporter of them.
Useless then, Alvaro, is it?
Awesome. And then Monica's done another comment. Thanks for your answer. I'm not looking to move, just expand. May I ask what strategies you are using? So with that in mind, because we haven't got any more questions on those things, I think it'd be a really good time to jump into the professional trade setup of the week. And then we can demonstrate to Monica and everyone else watching, either now on the live or when they catch the replay in the group, how you start to go about looking for trade setups when you're trading FX.
Yeah. Oh, have we got a request? Anybody want to present a request in? Because I'm going to start it from scratch. So anything that anyone, so we can just do it by popularity or whatever you choose is fine with me.
Yeah, cool. So we'll just say the next 30 seconds, guys. If there's a currency pair you want to look at, put it in the comment section now, and then that can be the one that Andy looks at. So at the moment we've got CAD, yen coming in, Aussie dollar. So if we get the first one that doubles up with the same one, a unanimous vote. So if someone else wants to see something, okay, so we'll go the most we've had in this 30-second period. So let's go for CAD yen, Mr. Demi.
CAD yen. Okie dokie. No worries. Let's do CAD yen. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just quickly bring my software in this side, and I'll just share screen, guys. Give me a sec. Share screen. Okay, so give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm just going to quickly load it up. So if anybody does have any of the questions whilst I'm quickly loading this up.
So yeah, just to go back to Monica's question as well, we did record a webinar which is longer than the average webinar because Andy really wanted to go in and give as much detail as possible. So if you're new to the group and anyone else as well, we'll put the link in the comments section after the show, and then you can check out the start to understand like Andy's background in hedge funds, how he's kind of applied something that's maybe a little bit different and why he's getting such good results. So hopefully that's filled in that time. Are you ready to go with the analysis, mate? Awesome.
Yep. I am going to do it. So, right. So again, so this is quite good because CAD yen is not one that I trade much. So it's kind of one of the ones that I'd go to lower down on my list. So it's good because it means I can kind of look at it completely fresh and not have any bias at all on this chart. So I'm just loading up my my different time frames. We'll just kind of keep it at 3 for now, and then we'll see if we need the hourly as well. So let's go to the weekly. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to quickly zoom out, have a look to see essentially what this currency pair has been doing. So my immediate thing is, okay, I've already got a picture here. Picture is that we're going, we're generally sort of sideways here. It's kind of stuck in a bit of a range, possible channel somewhere. There could be some lines. So that's kind of already my conclusion. So I'm going to just quickly use our tool just so that I can quickly see very quickly where the where there's maybe major levels. And see that kind of already makes it so much easier for me to see that actually what have we done? Well, we've hit, if I just bring my pen, we've hit a triple level there. And not surprisingly, it's bounced, right? So what does that mean? It basically means that obviously here it was the optimal sell point. Now we've kind of fallen. What I'd be looking for is possibly, you know, is this market going to kind of go lower and maybe go down to 84.32? So if we just kind of look at some examples here, you can kind of see, obviously, this point here, it did go higher, but there's a lot of examples here, like here, 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 and here, where once we hit this level, we did go to at least here and often even lower down to here, right? So we can see there's proof here that this market has a good chance that it could be ready to kind of go down, right? So at least around 84.32. And if you actually look at all these 4 examples here, it actually did go lower, a lot lower. So in these examples, it went, you know, even in this one, which did go a bit higher first, it did eventually go down to here. So we could even look at this 80.84 as a kind of long-term target. So with that in mind, let's kind of move over to the daily chart and have a little look and see what this looks like. So zoom out. Again, I'm just going to zoom in here. Okay. I'm going to put in my Fibonacci very quickly to see where the fibs look on the way up. Perfect. We've hit a D point, guys. So D point is essentially a point of reversal where we're looking for this market to potentially go lower to a minimum of this first red line here, which is incidentally 85.28, which actually matches pretty much this level here. Okay, so that's great. That's confluence there. So this looks like a great first target. Let's kind of zoom in over here. Okay. Right. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the fib of the whole move here. I just want to see very quickly where the 618 is, because I do tend to like the 618 pullback, and I always like to see where that is. That's around 87.13. So you can see at the moment this market is pulling back. So I just kind of wanted to know where 87.13 is, where the 618 is. It's about there. So I will have that in mind, and I'm just going to go over to the 4-hour chart now and have a look to see if there's anything significant that might help us here. So I like to also look to see, you know, what kind of speed the market goes down. So we are just going to quickly look at this kind of angle here, right, which is like a sort of 45-degree angle. And I like to just see if this holds nicely. So I'm going to use that there as a base. And why am I going to do that? Because if I zoom out, zoom in, there's a good chance that, you know, and I would probably put this, put an alert on that line and say there's a good chance that this here, this line, I can just move this down a little bit actually, there, is probably going to act as resistance around here. And I'm just going to quickly see, you know, by also using my fib tool here, what the, hopefully this script's going to work, what the up fibs are saying. Ah, I've done the wrong one. Hold on. Oh. 1 second, guys. Oh, damn it. Hold on. Okay. Right, delete that. I'm just going to do this manually, just for the sake of time. 1618 is a little bit higher. So that's there, 87.62. Okay. So, okay. Okay, I've kind of got a plan. So let me just check out the 4-hour levels. Yeah, that's great. Look at that. Yeah, confluence. So that is telling me that with a pullback in this zone here, we'd expect the market to go here. We've also got a confirmed 4-hour level. So I would love for this thing. This would be my favorite kind of plan. Would be for this market to kind of go up here. We could potentially take a short there. However, if you want to trade this a little bit safer, I would kind of let this go back beneath here, and I would take it here. So like what we'd call like a fake out, pull back into here and then short. So that gives you that confirmation. So this one here is a bit more aggressive. This is like confirmation. It goes back to like this kind of support area. It hits that, it comes back, probably bounces there, and I'd short that there. So I would personally put some alerts here to let me know once we go back. If you want to scale into this, you can put a small position there, which comes in around 87.56. What I like about that as well is that we have, that's not a million miles away from, well, actually it's a little bit higher, but that could easily be a spike up here and then down. So 87.56 can be your first position, and then with that confirmation that it's held, then you can add your second position, and then we could target 87.30, and you could just place your stop above these highs. And what I like about that is that also that means you're placing your stop above these highs, and you can kind of see that there's a lot of evidence here that the market will hold here most of the time. And if it doesn't hold, then you can again look to sell it up here. So that's about it, really. I wouldn't really need to do much more. I mean, you can go to the hourly time frame as well. We could do a little bit more, but essentially that is it. I mean, we can. Let me just do one more thing. I'll add in the uptrend lines just to see where they are as well. Yeah, that is perfect. Perfect, perfect. So we've actually broken these trend lines here. So we've broken the trend lines, which means, and for those that are my students, you know that 80% of the time, once you break a trend line, it's got an 80% chance of going down to the next level, to the next trend line there. So if you wanted to do a shorter term trade, you could also just target this trend line. And we can also just put in our down fibs. Just last thing I'm going to do, and see where that's coming in. Perfect. 87.56. And let's put in our DTR as well for the day. See if that's, because if I'll be honest, if the DTR is on this line, I'd also take maybe a scalp trade. No, it's not there today. Maybe tomorrow it might be up there. So the predicted high of the day is not going to be far off this level today. So it'd be unlikely that we get up there anytime soon. Not today, maybe next day or day after that. Let me know if that's okay, guys, if that makes sense.
Bravo, Mr. Demi, bravo. I think no questions or comments, so that's normally a good sign people are studying and taking notes. There is a question from Roy though. Is it possible to obtain your fib, DTR indicators, etc., etc.? Are we still doing the 14-day trial if no one's ever tried them before?
No idea, mate. You tell me. Yeah, I mean, look, the thing, if you're like, a tool is great. If you're experienced, then reach out to us. As long as we feel that you can use it. If you're a complete beginner, having these sort of tools isn't necessarily going to be, it's not necessarily help you. So I would making sure that you're actually going to be able to use them effectively and not risk losing money by following tools that you're not sure how to use. But if you can incorporate them into your own plan, if you're already a trader, then I'm sure we can definitely arrange for that. Great.
Okay, so we'll reach out to you then. Roy, thanks a lot for your question. Another question is, would you do your analysis on MT4 all the time, or would you use TradingView?
Good question. I use both. The reason I use both is because each of them have got their own benefits that outweigh the other one. So MT4 is great for for the tools that we use. And it's also great because I can trade directly through them. Whereas TradingView is a lot more restricted in that sense. But TradingView offers much better tools for keeping organized and staying on top of your watch list. So I utilize the TradingView alerts, and I do really like their charting as well. So I use both. If as a complete beginner, you can just start with MT4 if you're a complete beginner, because it's free. But when you start to do this properly and you're streamlined and you're organized and you have your rules and your plan, you definitely want to have something like TradingView that allows you to not miss your ideas. So making sure you set alerts and making sure that you're organized. So whether that's TradingView or something else, you definitely need that. Otherwise, you'll miss a lot of opportunities.
Cool. Awesome. So with that being said, doesn't look to be any more questions in the comment section. So I think we're done for the week, Boo Boo. Another week, another show in the can for Pips Like a Pro. We will be back tomorrow, same time, live, same place, from midday UK time, and it will be Cryptos Like a Pro tomorrow. So talking all things cryptos. Don't want to peak too early, but it's been quite the week in crypto land. So lots of opportunities starting to come about. So is there anything you want to say before we put a fork in this one, mate?
No, that's all, guys. Thanks for tuning in. For anybody who's on YouTube, if you want to join us on Facebook and be part of the community, the wider community, then you need to go to Crypto and FX Traders Club. And as long as you don't look like a spammer, we will let you in.
It's very important.
It's a great place. It's a great place to be. And I like-minded people.
I almost peaked too early. Awesome. Great. So that's it. Join the group. We're over 3,000 members now. The Crypto and FX Traders Club on Facebook is the group to join. And we look forward to welcoming you into the group. Have a great day. We will see you tomorrow. If you're into cryptos, we will see you tomorrow. Same day, same time. Same place, different day. That's the one.
See you later, guys.